Mark, I was looking at year on year at games. You were a couple of points off where you was in terms of points last year, but I guess you feel that a festive period going right rather than how it went last year can really get you ahead of target.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's the last few games. We've been in games, we've been playing well. We've just not tipped those into wins. I think the league's tough, probably the hardest League One as well. So I think the league's tougher than last year in terms of the quality of clubs and the size of the clubs. So I think we're pretty in a similar position to last year at the moment, and just trying to keep going again and going after the wins and trying to pick up more points through this Christmas period is going to be a tough challenge, but an important one.
It is a busy period of games, it always is. Is this the ideal time to get some momentum when it comes to performances and results?
Yeah, I think there's every game's an ideal time to try and start getting some momentum. So I think, but what we do is just attack every game and try and get results out of every game, and that's going to be the challenge. And as we know, some big teams, some big clubs, and Reading are coming on Saturday, and they've had their problems off the pitch, but they're still a big club with a big budget, believe it or not. So I've got some really good players, and then we go into our next games through the Christmas period against Bolton, and again Rotherham coming to see us. So there's probably no easy game this year, and that's what I mean by the league's probably tougher, but we think we can go and get points out of it.
New manager in place at Reading. Has he changed much in those couple of matches he's had?
Slightly, a little bit, and trying to do things slightly differently, but ultimately very similar team, very similar set of players. But there are slight changes, which makes it a bit challenging because you know how other managers want to play, so it's a bit more of a challenge to work out that. But we're just trying to go through that today in training and work out what we're trying to do against them. So that's the challenge, really. Harvey
Nibbs and Sam Smith were standout players when at Cambridge, and obviously gone on to Reading. Are they still the two danger men, you think? Yeah,
I think so. Before the club got into its troubles, they brought some top players, and they're still there from that. As Sam Smith, a brilliant number 9. Harvey Nibbs, a fantastic 10 or wide player, and they have other wide players that might play, might not play. Shem Campbell, and they're really effective on the top line, and they score a lot of goals on the top line, and that's how they've been getting their results. And when you see it, they're winning games 2-1, being in a lot of games, probably similar to ourselves, drawing games, or just winning games. But their front line is a real threat.
When it comes to the defensive record for your side, obviously not as good as it has been from previous season. Is that getting back to basics a little bit when it comes to the defending?
Yeah, that's the challenge. That's our challenge. So even though we want to win every game, we build ourselves some pride on how we defend our cage, how we defend our box, and not conceding. We pride ourselves on being really hard to play against, and we've just got to get the balance of that right. How much we want to try and score, and how much we don't want to concede. And we went through probably a couple of games where it was a bit too easy to concede, but I think the last few we've been solid, and we need to continue that, because I think when you're in games and not conceding, you can always go and win them.
When it comes to injury issues, any changes from last Saturday?
No, MJ and Tom Hamer still out for foreseeable. Jacko's still, we're not sure what he'll be, but he's back in doing a bit of work, so that's great news. So we're still giving that a bit of time. JJ's come through from his calf. I think we're pretty much healthy, and people starting to come back now, like you saw on the bench.
Yeah, with Tyler now being back involved on a more regular basis, are you seeing what you thought you was going to see out of Tyler Walker when you first joined this club?
Yeah, I think we know what Tyler can bring when he's fully fit and performance sharp and match sharp. I don't think he's quite there yet, match sharpness, because he's not had the games. And one of the challenges is with the injured players, how you get them on the pitch to get them games. If there's a lot of games but not enough to get them on the pitch, so I think that's my challenge and my conundrum, really, how we can do that without having like a 21s programme, which naturally, you saw Botman this week drop back into Newcastle straight into a 23s programme. We haven't got that, so we have to try and think about how we can get them on the pitch at the right moments, with carrying 5 substitutions or 7 substitutions, but only 5 can get on the pitch. So that's the challenge. But yeah, let's see how we go.
And do you see him having a good blend with your current strikers that you have?
Yep, he's different. He's very good box, can finish well. Got loads of attributes that we would like, and is a goal scorer. It's just trying to get him on the pitch and trying to get him match minutes that he hasn't played for so long. So yeah, we've got to work out a way to do that, and hopefully he can start competing for a shirt with the 9s as well.
And Tom Bayliss, is that a similar situation?
Similar. Yeah, very similar. He's back now. He's been training very well last week. And he's ready to go. He's raring to go, but they're not both fitted enough to do 90 minutes, if 60 minutes. So it's how we can utilise their expertise with a fully fit other group, and how we get them playing again.
And is it at this stage of the season, because of the amount of fixtures you've had, you can't chuck in friendlies in midweek as you normally would maybe sometimes?
Yeah, that would be one of the ways to solve the problem. But at the moment, we can't do that because we've probably not got enough to do that and make that worthwhile without risking more players. So it's probably not the right time to do that. But it will after the Christmas period, if we're still trying to get players minutes in, get legs in them to try and compete for a position, then that'll be the time to do it. But through this Christmas period, it's probably full on enough, not for that really. But we're going to need everybody. You know, like injuries pop up, knocks pop up. It's game after game. We go through now, you know, the Christmas period, January, it's going to be really, really busy, and there's going to be an opportunity to play. So it's just making sure that they're ready, and they need to be ready when they're called upon to try and give the best versions of themselves, really.